Hi, my name is Ian Clark. Welcome to Part 2 of the CHA VAUGHN video goaltending series. In Part 1, we examine goaltending fundamentals. Now, we take a look at the advanced elements of the position. Considering that goaltending fundamentals represent the majority of a goaltender's activity, the first video is an excellent precursor to this analysis. This video will take a look at the key shot preparation component. In addition, we will examine advanced movement, positional, and tactical responses. To begin then, let's take a look at the shot preparation category.
A goalkeeper's activity leading into the first save of a shot sequence is key to success. This preparation includes ice awareness, identifying a pending attack, the type of attack and the positioning of defensive players, and non-puck carrying offensive players. Initial positioning, the first selection of angle, depth, and body positioning based upon the goalie's ice awareness. Continuing positional adjustments. As the attack gets closer, the goaltender must place a greater emphasis on maintaining a tight angle and begin to finalize stance positioning. Play anticipation, based upon the positioning and angle of attack by offensive players and the level of defensive support. The goaltender should now seek to anticipate the puck carrier's play. Final positional adjustments. Having anticipated the play, the goalie can now make any final adjustments to angle, depth, and/or body positions, and may be required to optimize position. Read of shot release. As the goalie makes these final positional adjustments, they should be looking to identify the expected shot release. Many elements signify a commitment to shoot. Reading this paves the way for the final shot preparation element. Setting of position. With the shot release read, the goalie can quickly set position. Responding to a shot from a balanced and set position is always the goaltender's best option. Executing these skills in a proper fashion will lay the groundwork for a simple first save. Beyond first save success, another critical reason why this skill group is important relates to rebound control and recovery skills. The goaltender's preparation is key to save and post-save success. Our first drill is designed to give goalies an opportunity to place their head on a swivel without concern. The puck starts outside the blue line on the face-off dot. A pylon is placed on each side of the ice. The puck carrier will take a puck and swing around the near cone. Meanwhile, the second attacker must decide whether to drive around the other cone to the net or stay behind. If they drive, the goalie must identify the weak side attacker. This will give the goalie information that will determine the aggressiveness of depth selection. If the second attacker stays behind, after identifying this choice, the goalie will be able to strengthen depth on the puck carrier. A second ice awareness drill requires 3 attackers and a coach. Each player will have a puck and will begin to carry it around the zone. They can go wherever they like within the offensive zone. The goalie will be asked to follow one of the players. Each will be identified by a number. For example, the coach might say, follow player number 3. In this event, the goalie will use proper movement skills to follow this attacker throughout the zone. Then, the coach will call out one of the other 2 players. This player will then take 2 strides and shoot. To be successful, the goalie must learn to identify the other attackers throughout the drill. If not, the goalie will be unable to respond to the called shot. In an advanced context, movement revolves around a single overriding concept. A goaltender's positional game depends upon a center net or on-angle position. Indeed, angle is the only element which independently provides any net coverage. First, the goaltender's movement skill is what drives them into positional targets. Second, they must be combined to ensure that the angle of position is prioritized. The path that a goaltender takes to achieve a positional target, along with the combination of movements used along this path, are called the correct direction of movement. These directions of movement are essential to positional success. At this stage, it's important to recall that any optimal position is made up of angle, depth, and body position components. Since angle provides more net coverage than any other goaltending attribute, it's the priority. Prioritizing the order of positional ingredients is called the goalie's positional sequence. There are two positional sequencing rules of thumb. In one, the attack is forming, but the shot is not imminent. In the second, the attack has formed and the shot is imminent. In the first, non-imminent shot, since the shot is not coming immediately, the goaltender's positional sequence is 1. Depth, 2. Angle, 3. Body position. The reason the goaltender follows this sequence is for simplicity. The goaltender's prime objective is to attain an optimal position. Therefore, the quicker these are achieved, the more time the goaltender gains to fulfill shot preparation issues like ice awareness, play anticipation, and the final read of shot release. With depth achieved early, the goaltender only has angle and stance positioning to achieve. These two elements can always be achieved simultaneously, since the goalie movement is designed to maintain stance fundamentals. In short, with depth established early in the attack, the goaltender can move laterally in a stance to obtain the remainder of the desired position. When a shot is imminent, a goaltender's positional sequence changes. Why? Since time is limited, the goalie must prioritize those positional elements which will provide the greatest coverage benefits. In these cases, the goalie's sequence is 1. Angle, 2. Body position, 3. Depth. Notice that the depth is shifted from first to last. With the goaltender now prioritizing angle, the goalie quickly establishes the maximum amount of net coverage that time permits. If time still remains, then further body adjustments and then depth adjustments can be made. The key, however, is to ensure at least an on-angle position. To develop this type of positional strategy, we need to understand a goaltender's positional range. The positional range is defined as the area in which the vast majority of a goalie's positional targets are found. Knowing that the positional target lies within this range, the key becomes how a goaltender can best achieve it. The answer is to get as close to the unknown final target as possible. To do this, the goaltender selects a middle depth position. This is not the final depth position, but is a position in the middle of the range. For most goalies, it's simply the top of the crease. By establishing a position at the top of the crease, the goalie has established a strong first depth position. The goalie can now shift emphasis to remaining on angle and reading the attack. In short, through an early middle depth selection, the goaltender will either attain or be very close to attaining positional targets all of the time. When an attack like a rebound is expected and uncontrollable, the goaltender shifts to the other sequence: angle, body position, and then, if time permits, a depth gain. Since most imminent attacks are closer to the net, depth plays a diminished role. We know how strong a centered position is, and by emphasizing this positioning, the goaltender again moves close to optimal positioning with consistency. The most common imminent scenarios are rebounds, lateral feeds, and pass-outs from behind the net. The development of lateral game strategy can be easily integrated into most typical practice plans. The best drills from which to develop these positional strategies are standard rush situations. For example, 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, 1-on-1s, and power play. Be sure to discuss with your goaltender that conscious thought is required during practice. They should aim to gain depth very quickly during full ice rushes, followed by an emphasis on angle and body. Conversely, during power play work, the angle becomes a priority.
Since imminent situations tend to be more dangerous, we will expand on a goaltender's movement game with specific emphasis on 3 directions of movement that follow the proper angle, body, and depth sequence.
In a pass-out situation, the goaltender must adjust from the post to face what is usually a one-time shot. When leaving the post, the goaltender should move quickly to a center net position because angle is the priority. This is achieved by moving laterally into the middle of the net. It's very important to have the head up to read the pending shot release. If the shot is coming as the goalie moves into the middle net position, the goalie must begin to quickly establish body position. If there's time, the goalie may choose to angle their movement outward to also gain depth. Naturally, this depth gain will further limit the amount of available net. When developing proper directions of movement, the goalie should first practice without pucks. This will ensure fluid and controlled movements without fear of a goal. Follow these repetitions with actual shooting drills. These two drills are identical. The only difference is that the first set does not include a shot, while the second one does. The goalie starts on a post. On the coach's go, the goalies will arc out to the near side. Notice the curvature of the move. It's this curvature that will maximize coverage immediately. After the save and rebound control, the goalie returns to the same post. This time on the coach's call, the goalie will move across the net into its center and then rotate outward towards the top of the crease on the far side. After completing a number of sets to each side, the goalie will then face the same drill, but with shots this time. As the goalie arcs out toward the near side position, the goalie must shift to a read of release mode. Since all shots are coming from the outside corridor, the goalie's body should play a significant role in handling these pucks. A lateral feed often involves the need to move from a side crease position to a middle crease or opposite side position. In these imminent shot cases, angle remains the priority. To gain angle quickly, the goaltender should take the quickest path to a center net position. In the side crease to middle position, the goalie must pivot and then drive laterally into an on-angle position. In the case of a side crease to opposite side move, the goaltender can't achieve this through a pure lateral movement. This is where the goaltender will use a combination of sculling movements to quickly gain a centered square position. This maneuver is called a step-back pivot. To execute a step-back pivot, the goalie should backwards C-cut to pull them back towards the center of the crease. As the backwards C-cut is completed, the goalie will use the other skate to rotate around using a forward C-cut. The combination of these moves will bring the goalie back into a center net position, and then rotation will square the goalie. Again, these drill sets are the same, one without pucks and one with pucks. In the first, the movement is from a side crease position to a middle crease position. Notice that the move includes a pivot, followed by a direct lateral move into the crease. It's this rapid move into the center net which builds the goalie's coverage. Following this lateral drive, the goalie's momentum should swing outward towards the top of the crease. In the corresponding shooting drill, the pucks are placed on the dots. One player will pass the puck out to the top of the slot. The receiving player will opt to one-time the shot or control the pass and then shoot. If it's a one-time shot, the goalie should be reading this and move directly into the middle of the net. If, however, the attacker first gains control of the pass, the goalie, with additional time, will swing outward towards the top of the crease. Alternate sides. The next drill set involves a side crease to side crease move. In this drill, the goalie will utilize a step-back pivot. Again, have the goalie execute a series of moves without shots. When ready, the goalie will set up facing a shooter on one of the dots. On the coach's go, the goalie will step-back pivot and face a shot from a shooter on the opposite dot. The shooter should alter the quickness of the release. At times, the shooter should wait for the goalie to not only get across, but also step out and set. Sometimes, however, the shooter should release the shot as the goalie is pivoting. This will help the goalie understand the power of a center net game.
We have spent a lot of time talking about proper orientation and how to achieve these positional targets. It's now time to examine advanced body positioning, save movement, and tactical responses.
A goaltender will either assume an up body position or a down body position. It should be noted that a goaltender's game, regardless of style, will involve an up component and a down component. Both of these categories must be developed. Likewise, goaltenders should understand that a positional game does not end with the up game, but is a continuous effort to maximize position relative to the net and the puck. This includes the down positional game. We will place our emphasis on maximizing the down position, beginning with the correct down attributes, and then discuss adjusting position while down. Before doing so, a down position also has a depth, angle, and body component. Therefore, in some ways, it's no different than the optimal up position. The goalie should seek to achieve all of these positional attributes at all times. The down body should possess the following vital ingredients: compactness, width, uprightness. Building a correct down position begins with the notion of compactness. This is because a puck should never penetrate